Hey guys, it's Melanie. Happy Friday and welcome back to another weekly beauty chit chat. If you are new around here, this video goes up most Fridays and it's just an opportunity for me to casually chit chat about all of the fun, frivolous, completely unnecessary beauty products that I was personally loving or obsessing about over the course of the past week. Per usual, I have my little blue bucket of delightful things here that we're going to go through. And as always, I will list and link everything in the description box right below this video. If you'd like to know where to purchase these items, read up other people's reviews, or look at ingredient decks, be sure to check the description box out. It is usually a plethora of information. There are a couple things I won't be able to link because they are discontinued makeup items at this point. I have really been making a concerted effort to use a lot of makeup in my collection that I haven't really reached for as of late, and I tell you what, that's really rewarding. I'm really glad that I started doing that. I have rediscovered so many great things. So anyway, hopefully this inspires you to reach into your, backlog of makeup that you probably have somewhere in your house and maybe grabbing out some things that you haven't thought about using in a while. Yeah, show that makeup some love. Anyway, before we get into it, I hope you had a great week. I had a good week myself. I'm just going to take a couple minutes here to do a brief PSA. I am actually going to get a skin cancer screening done a little bit later on today, so I want to use this opportunity to stress to you guys, if you have not gone and had an initial skin cancer screening, or you maybe have missed some screenings in recent years, this is my reminder to you to go get that done. I am someone who personally has a family history of specifically melanoma. My biological dad has had melanoma twice. I'm not in contact with him, but I do know this information through my brother who does have contact with him. So yeah, it runs in the family. There are other people on my dad's side of the family that have also had some other types of skin cancer. So yeah, unfortunately I am at a higher risk because of the genetics, but also I put myself at a higher risk by doing what I did in the 90s and early 2000s, which was in the 90s, I would lay outside on the trampoline coated in baby oil to get the nicest, crispiest tan. And then when I could afford a tanning membership, then I did that. And I did that for several years, and it is a huge, massive regret of mine. If I could go back in time, I would definitely knock some sense into myself. But listen, when I was a teenager in my early 20s, you couldn't tell me nothing. I was like, this is fine. This is absolutely going to have no effect on my future. Well, guess what? The chickens are coming home to roost. So last year I missed my scan. I just forgot, which I usually do not. So when I remembered, I went ahead and made an appointment, but my dermatologist was booked like 8 months out, like a wild amount of time. So my appointment was actually not supposed to be until the end of October, but I asked to be put on a call list in case there are any cancellations. So fortunately, they called me a few days ago and I get to go in actually later on this afternoon to get that scan done. My fingers are crossed that nothing has changed. So far, the scans that I've had done by my dermatologist have come up good. Like, there's nothing yet that, is of concern. But my dermatologist was very clear that based on previous behaviors and genetics that I have a huge risk factor for developing melanoma. It can move very slowly. It can also move very quickly. You have to know your body. You have to look at everything closely. And if there are any changes, you have to go get checked. I know it's very easy to write these things off. Do not do it. It's not worth it. I have had some subscribers here share their absolute horror stories about them having melanoma and what that experience was like for them and how close they came to dying because of it. Melanoma, if caught early, is very treatable. Melanoma caught in late stage is incredibly deadly. So please go get checked. you know, I've had Craig kind of look at my back, but listen, Craig's not a doctor. He has a degree in business. He doesn't necessarily know, you know, if there's anything on my back that looks suspicious or not. Like, he seems to think it looks fine, but obviously I can't see that. And so also the backs of my legs. So it just gives me a lot of comfort to go to a physician, to have them look at everything and then have them tell me, you're good, come back in another year, we'll scan you again. And if there's anything that comes up, we will deal with it. So if you have not gone to the dermatologist to do a skin scan and you are someone who is at risk either for genetic or behavioral reasons, go and get that done. All right, without further ado, let us now get into the fun, frivolous part of my little TED Talk here. All right. We're gonna get started with perfume because this is always where I like to start. I love the smelly things, and the choices this week were mostly either of these two fragrances. They're not really remotely similar, but they're both lovely fall fragrances. I shared a couple of videos in the last couple of weeks where I shared some suggestions for fall perfumes if you're in the market for something new or you're kind of looking to change it up in terms of a signature fragrance for the upcoming season. I'll link those videos in the description box as well. I actually meant to put this in this past Monday's video, but I ended up picking another dossier fragrance just because it was a little bit more affordable. But anyway, this is Black Tulip by Nest. Have you ever smelled this? First of all, have you ever smelled any of the Nest fragrances? Listen, I know this kind of looks like a little bit of a boring bottle, maybe. I mean, it's, you know, not a fancy shape. It's got a pretty, you know, botanical print on here, obviously, but nothing super flashy, right? Listen, Laura Slatkin has a nose for fancy lady perfumes, and if that is your vibe, you have to go sniff these perfumes out. Black Tulip especially, by the way, my dog is asleep behind me, and the noises that you're hearing, it's Alf snoring. So enjoy that pug ASMR. Anyway, Black Tulip is one of these like heavier, spicier, like deeper, richer fall florals. And man, this one with my body chemistry is mwah, chef's kiss. I love this one on me. I always get so many compliments with this one. But I will say, it is a lot spicier than I think most people are used to with perfumes sometimes, especially if you tend to gravitate towards lighter, more airy types of fragrances. That's not what this is, but man, is it beautiful. I just love this one, especially for this time of year. So the next time you're at Sephora, I'm telling you, go sniff out not only Black Tulip, sniff out Indigo. There's many. Go check them out. By the way, those of you that have been asking, the new vanilla bourbon, or is it bourbon vanilla? Something bourbon vanilla or vanilla bourbon. I will be picking that up. I have a Sephora cart going, but at this point, because the fall savings event is kind of right around the corner, I'm just building my cart and I'm gonna use my 20% off. I think this is actually the last year that I'm gonna have Rouge status with Sephora, so yeah, anyway. It'll be sad to let that go, but honestly, I really haven't spent a ton of money at Sephora this year. I've spent a little bit more money at Ulta, but Sephora, man. They have to improve their reward system. If they improve the reward system, I would spend more money there, but they just don't give me enough money off. So, all right, second fragrance was this bad boy right here. This is Kylie Jenner Cosmic. Not a personal fan of the Kardashians myself, but I am a big fan of this perfume here. I mean, I've put a healthy dent in this, and I've only owned this for a few months. This kind of initially reminded me of, and go back to the 90s with me here. Do you guys remember Fire and Ice by Revlon? This has very similar vibes to that. And like it also has this really beautiful vanilla base. But there's this interesting kind of depth to this fragrance. I love this. I'll have, by the way, and you will have already seen it for the Black Tulip, but I will have the actual fragrance notes going across the bottom of the screen here. But yeah, this is absolutely lovely. It's a very sophisticated, warm, cozy type of fall fragrance. I don't think this one is super aggressive in its presentation, but one thing that I can say about both of these perfumes is that they both have incredible overall projection and lasting power. These are fragrances that are going to get noticed. These are not subtle. If you're looking for subtlety, neither of these would be my suggestion to you. But if you are looking for something that is kind of a more interesting, unique take on a fall perfume, I think either of these would be great options. Also, check out those videos if you missed them. There's lots of great suggestions there. But those two fragrances I was reaching for this week. I'm actually wearing the Black Tulip today, and I love it. It makes me happy. Okay, next, let's talk about the Banish device and the Banish face serum. Doing another update for you guys. I am still doing this microneedling routine weekly. I do this once a week on Sundays, and I'm telling you, I think this has made my face look so much more like bright and luminous. I think it has added a glow to my skin that I really didn't have before. And this is so easy to use. First of all, the microneedle device itself, this is a stamper type of device. I used to use the rollers in the past, but if you really look into those, they're really not the best option for microneedling. This has these incredibly fine tipped needles. I don't even think they're really gonna like come off on camera, but they're so fine, and this is so easy to use, you guys. So the way that I do this is, obviously you're gonna do this on a cleansed face. Each of these heads, by the way, will give you 8 uses. So I have 2 more uses left on this one, and then I will be replacing the head. I purchased the replacements myself at this point, just so you guys are aware. This is such an easy device to use. So you basically just go and you stamp it onto your skin. So you press it into your skin. You don't need to be super aggressive about it. You know, just kind of lightly press it into the skin, lift straight up. I like to twist it ever so slightly before I move on to the next area. And then I just lift, and I just do that basically around my whole face. It takes only a couple of minutes to do the actual microneedling. Is it painful? I don't really think it is. Now, around my like bonier areas of my face, like my forehead, it does feel a little bit more uncomfortable. I will link my video down below where I show myself actually doing my microneedling routine. I shared that about a couple of months ago, I think. And this is the device that I was using at that time as well. And you can kind of see how my eyes start to water when I get around the bony areas, but I wouldn't necessarily consider it painful, if that makes sense. It just causes my eyes to water when I press it into those areas. Now, when you go to replace the heads, it's really easy. You just twist this off. So the only real waste is obviously this part right here. You keep the handle, and then you essentially just attach, hold on, you have to like turn it that way. You basically just attach the new head, and then you're good to go. Now, to disinfect this, it's really easy. You just fill the cap here to the fill line with rubbing alcohol. You slide your device over top, and the alcohol will disinfect the needles. I usually leave this sitting for about 10-15 minutes. Then I will let this air dry, pour the alcohol out, let this air dry, and once everything is fully dry, I basically just put it away until the following Sunday. Now, love this, so easy to use, but I think part of the key of the like brightness that I'm experiencing is probably from their Banish serum. So this is their dark spot corrector with vitamin C and E. It is L-ascorbic acid in this formula, and they make these in really small batches, so it's always fresh when it comes to you. There is ferulic acid in here. There's also vegetable glycerin. I'll just show you how easily this absorbs into the skin. So once I'm done with my routine, I just take a few drops of the serum here, and then I basically just press that into my skin. It might look like it's oily at first, but that's just the glycerin. Once that like absorbs into your skin, it really, your skin feels very soothed. It feels very hydrated. I don't even put on a moisturizer over top. On Sunday evenings when I'm doing this particular microneedle routine, this is the only skincare that goes over top. Now, I do use this other nights of the week as well to, you know, add into whatever, you know, skincare routine I'm doing on a given evening where this makes sense to add it to the routine. So I have been using this outside of just the microneedling purpose, but I think both of these products together are what is causing my skin to look so much more luminous, so much more glowy these days. I'm just really pleased. I also feel like I'm noticing an improvement in the overall look of my pores, especially in this area right here. Not so much really on my nose. I mean, I do microneedle my nose, but I feel like it's this area on my cheeks right here where I'm noticing a definite improvement. This system's really easy to use. I'm a big fan. I'm gonna keep going with this. That is a wonderful, easy to use device and not intimidating at all. I've actually gotten some emails from, what is it, Dr. Pen, which is a microneedle device that is a little bit more aggressive. Honestly, it makes me uncomfortable to use something like that at home, but this I'm very comfortable using at home. So anyway, love that. Let's move on to a body care product really quick. So this is the Farmacy Honeymoon Glow Body. This has a 12% AHA and BHA formulation. So I busted this out this week because I was starting to get some KP on my upper arms here. Really the only area on my body where I tend to develop KP is on my arms here. It's a pretty common location for a lot of people. I don't really get it anywhere else, but as soon as I notice that KP starting to flare up a little bit, I just use this and it immediately like smooths everything out again. So I'll just use this for a few days in a row and it completely clears that little flare up out for me and my skin looks nice and smooth again. So yeah, I really love this product for that. If you've never tried this, it's a great one. Also, there is a product on Amazon that is somewhat similar that you can also try. It's from Alpha, I think it's Alpha Skincare. I will link that down below as well. That one just comes in a white bottle, but I do think that the Farmacy one works quite well as well. So I don't know, I could go either way, but this one definitely has helped to clear up that KP that was kind of starting to flare up earlier this week. Okay, I'm almost out of this. In fact, I think, yeah, I don't have much left at all. I need to go to Ulta and pick up another bottle. This is the Pacifica Big Waves Soft Hold and Volume Hairspray. I think I love the fragrance on this just as much as I love the performance of it. This has a like coconut vanilla scent to it. So it almost acts like a hair perfume in a way. It's pretty potent. If you don't like smelly things, skip this. It's gonna be way too much for you, but I think it smells like $1,000,000. But what I love about this is it really helps me to create a little bit more texture in my hair. It doesn't give me a whole lot of hold, but if I'm just looking for, you know, just adding some like texture around my hair or just kind of zhuzhing my hair up a little bit, like I can use this and it doesn't leave my hair feeling crunchy or dry afterwards. It's just the easiest hairspray. And the fact that it like smells like $1,000,000, I think is just the bonus here. But if you just want something to help, you know, zhuzh your hair up a little bit, maybe you're not looking for a crazy amount of hold because you're not gonna get a lot of hold from this, but if you're looking for a little bit more texture in your hair, this is a great product to try out. All right, let's talk some makeup. Okay, the eyeshadow palette from this week was, wait for it, the LORAC Pro Palette 4. I have been going ham on all of the older LORAC palettes in my collection. I still have many. I have all of the Mega Pros. I have all of these regular Pro palettes. I loved LORAC back in the day. Now, I will say these are quite powdery, so not the easiest to work with necessarily, but listen, if you still have all these palettes in your collection, get them out. First of all, the color stories are usually kind of perfect for fall. Next week, I am gonna be using the LORAC Pro 2. I've already pulled this one out. But this is another one where, you know, it's kind of an interesting palette for the fall. I'm really excited about this navy color in here, as well as the plum that's right next to it. But we'll talk more about this one next week. I'm just already getting my creative juices flowing here. But this is the palette from this week. Yeah, you can see quite powdery. I've mostly been wearing this shade here, which is called Iced Rose on my lid. And then I've been doing a mix of amaretto, cognac, warm ginger, pecan, and merlot. Not necessarily all together, but just, you know, like dipping into a few different ones and then blending that into my crease. But yeah, I love these. They're so good. Do they create a lot of fallout? Yes. Is it easy enough for me to brush that away because I wear powder foundation? Yes. But I don't know. I feel like if you wear liquid foundation, you know how to do your makeup. Maybe do you do your eyeshadow first and then your foundation? I always do my foundation first. So yeah, but like I said, I basically will just take a fluffy brush, and because I'm wearing powder foundation, I just think it's very easy to kind of flick that excess off. But there is fallout, so be forewarned. But yeah, man, I love this palette. This is gorgeous. I might actually keep this out again next week as well. I think these two might actually be kind of great together now that I'm looking at them. Yeah. Oh, I like that. Okay, man. I'm really excited about my makeup these days. And I'm not even using anything new. Not using anything new. Okay, the blush for this week was from this Ambient Lighting palette. This is the diffused edit. You can get this. Yes, I have seen the new Hourglass holiday palettes. I'm always so tempted by them, but you know what? I have a lot of them. I don't just have these two. I have, I think, like maybe even 3 more somewhere in my collection. I usually will fall for these around the holidays. They are gorgeous. I'm gonna try really hard to resist the palettes that were released for this year, but I'm telling you, if you're at all interested in them, they're so worth it. I love the Hourglass formulations for their powder products. They are so long wearing on me. And this shade right here, which is called Euphoric Fusion, beautiful for the fall. So this is the blush that I'm wearing today. It's in the center right here. This is a bronzer. This is a highlighter. This is actually my favorite highlighter. This is the Diffused Light. Sometimes I like to just take a fluffy brush to the Diffused Light and just kind of put that all over my face and my neck. Nice brightening effect from that, but really my focus this week was this blush, and it's a stunner. I love this. If you want this palette, I think it's still available. If it is, I'll link it down below. I think this one is. What I don't think I can link are these 2 lip products that I was rocking this week. Okay, I'm still in my lip gloss phase, and I'm into the nudie pinks right now just because they're easy. So I have Marc Jacobs Enamored lip lacquer gloss, if you will, in Pretty Thing. Marc Jacobs should be coming back next year at some point. Very excited to see what the relaunch of this makeup brand is going to look like, but I'm still loving the old stuff. I actually purchased a bunch of stuff from the Marc Jacobs website right before they decided to discontinue the makeup line. And so these were still in boxes. So anyway, I unboxed one of these a couple months ago and I've been using it. It's fabulous. I'm definitely gonna miss that shade. I hope he has something similar in his like reimagined makeup brand. And this is Dolly Daiquiri from Buxom. This is a full-on plumping lip cream. Kind of a similar shade to Enamored. Again, the pinky nudes. So the Enamored is what is on my lips right now. But yeah, both are great. Listen, if you have them, bust them out. They are lovely. That is what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to let me know what you were loving this past week in the comments down below. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Toodaloo. You ready to go, buddy? Oh my goodness, you're so ready. He's so excited. He's like, now I get a treat. All right, have a good weekend, guys.